Hey everyone, this is JD and welcome back to the Figgy Pop Culture channel. And guess what? This week is actually a very important week. This is CinemaCon week. And you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is CinemaCon? So if you're new to this channel, if you're new to what CinemaCon is actually a convention that's geared toward the theater owners. So all the major studios come out and they bring their best foot forward to showcase all the new upcoming movies are coming out with the next year or so in order to get the theater owners excited for the new releases. And this whole convention is mainly for theater owners. And we do get some of our fellow YouTubers, our news stations, movie sites that do go to CinemaCon to report on new stuff because at CinemaCon you may get new information that you haven't heard anywhere else. So, for the rest of this week, you'll be seeing videos from me. I'm going to try to get these out as soon as possible. I am sorry for the delay in these two videos. These are actually from yesterday. The first studio panel that was being showcased at CinemaCon actually consisted of 3 studios. We had Angel Studios, StudioCanal, and Sony Picture Classics. So first up, we have Angel Studios. Angel Studios is more of the faith-based studio. You probably have seen it. They have more religious-based movies, more movies that are faith-oriented, very like moving films in the studio. My wife really likes a lot of the movies from this studio, so we do tend to go see some of these movies. And you know what? They're for the hope, and that's kind of what they're there for. So this year they did announce several movies that kind of interesting. So first up we have Young Washington, and this is the biopic of George Washington. With this year being the 250th birthday of the United States, I do expect we'll see a lot of movies that deal with the Revolutionary War and deal with that time period. And we are getting this one with Young Washington. Next up, they have Runner. Now this one stars Alan Richardson and Owen Wilson. So Alan Richardson plays a delivery driver who has to deliver this liver to a little girl who needs a transplant. And on his way to deliver this liver, there is chaotic things happen. I believe the trailer is out for this one, and it looks very interesting. So it might be something you want to check out. All right, next we have Angel and the Badman. This is a remake of the John Wayne movie, and this one is starring Zach Levi, Tommy Lee Jones, whatever happened to that guy. It's been a long time since I've seen a Tommy Lee Jones movie, and Neil McDonough. So these are all actors who have actually appeared in many other Angel Studios films, so no surprise they're going to be in this movie too. And the trailer did drop for this one too. Next up, we have Brink of War. This is starring Jeff Daniels and Jared Harris, and this is about the story of Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev and the 1986 nuclear negotiations. So it looks crazy. They had some really great footage from this. But yeah, this one looks pretty cool, and it's really interesting seeing Jeff Daniels as Ronald Reagan. All right, next up we have Drummer Boy. Now this will be a Christmas musical, which is a weird thing to say because when I tell you what it's about, it's going to be kind of odd. Yes, this is a Christmas musical about 2 brothers who are on opposing sides of the American Revolution. Yeah, not sure how I feel about that. That's kind of a weird one. But yeah. We also did hear that Angel Studios did pick up the Hershey movie, which is a biopic of the Hershey chocolate company. I don't know much else about this. I found a few places that talked about it online, but yeah, yeah, this is coming out from Angel Studios too. And then we have Zero AD. And now this is the movie. This movie is about Joseph and Mary having to protect their baby Jesus from Herod the Great, who is also being played by Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ. That is pretty strange right there. And that pretty much rounds up Angel Studios. What did you guys think? Are any of these films on your must-watch list for 2026? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, next studio that came up, we had StudioCanal. So StudioCanal is more of a British distribution company, studio, and they do have more foreign films that they release through the studio. So what the big announcement from here was that we are getting a Paddington 4. And I know many people out there love the Paddington series. And you know what? It is a great series, and I do recommend you to check them out. The first 3 are amazing. So we're getting Paddington 4. We're also getting an animated Paddington film too, sometime in the future. We did get a small clip from Shaun the Sheep and the Beast from the Mossy Bottoms. And you know, it's a fun little clip right here. I believe it was like IndieWire where I read the description where they kind of talked about the scene is that, you know, Shaun and the other animals see this creature coming out of the bogs, and there's a really funny psycho gag in the scene. So Yep, that's Shaun of the Sheep, the third movie in the franchise. They also flew through a couple of new updates they have for upcoming projects, which is very rare for CinemaCon. They usually don't talk about movies they haven't gone to production yet. But this year, they did talk about some of the movies they have in production. They do have a new Pippi Longstocking movie coming out, which is kind of, I don't know. It's like, really? Do we need another Pippi Longstocking movie? Does anybody remember the Pippi Longstocking books? I don't know. We are getting books based off the Mr. Men books, and I did not know who Mr. Men was, and I took me a while to go figure it out. And it's a little those little books with a little cartoon characters. So we're probably getting an animated movie that's coming out based on these little creatures, these little characters. And I'll show on the screen right now who the Mr. Men books are. There's a whole bunch in the series, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I do remember those series. I do remember reading those when I was a kid." And they are also developing a book based off the Midnight Library. This is a story from Matt Haig that's about a girl who's ends up finding a mystical library and then explore infinite versions of herself and her life and discover what makes her life worth living for. So this feels very heartfelt. It's going to be a very heartfelt movie. We're also getting Everybody Wants to F Me, which stars Edgar Tarrington. And this is your horror comedy movie that is basically about a guy who finds out that every woman on the planet is stalking him. Oh, I feel like I've seen this movie before. Doesn't seem that very original in my opinion, but I don't know. Taron Egerton is a hilarious actor. He's a great performer. So, it could be funny, could be silly. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. We're also getting Elsinore. This is a story of Ian Charleston, who's getting ready to play Hamlet, but also grappling with the fact that he just learned that he has AIDS. So, right there is going to be a very heartfelt, compelling film right there. We're also getting the new Danny Boyle film, Ink., which is about Larry Lamb and Rupert Murdoch. And this one looks pretty interesting. It has a very stylized feel to it, very Danny Boyle-like. At the presentation, they did present a little scene where basically these journalists who are discussing the 5 W's of journalism: who, what, when, where, and why. So, but yeah, it has a stylish flair to it. And you know what? I can't wait to see some clips from this because it's kind of interesting. I'm kind of intrigued by what this movie could be about. Now, on the flip side, they do have another division where they kind of are more genre-related films, Sixth Dimension. And we did get some announcements from here. We got the movie Mannequin starring Melissa Leo. That's coming out. Not much else to give it on that one. We are getting remakes of John Carpenter's Escape from New York, which that could be interesting. So I am curious to see what they do with that one. But do we really need a remake of Escape from New York? Who is going to play Snake Plissken? I want to know. We're also getting a remake of Joe Dante's The Howling. And this one, you know what, I'm okay. I love the original version of The Howling. So I am looking forward to seeing this one. And you know what? If these turn out horrible, at least I have the originals to always go back and watch. And we did get a small clip from The Ice Cream Man from Eli Roth. This one's actually, the trailer is actually out right now. I did watch it the other day. Again, this is a movie that feels like I've seen it many, many times. Very Children of the Corn-esque, or something's wrong with the children. It's about, an ice cream man comes into town and I think turns the children into ravenous zombie-like creatures. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. So, of all the films from StudioCanal, which one are you the most looking forward to seeing? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, let's get to the final presentation from this panel. So the final presentation from the panel came from Sony Pictures Classics. And this one, this one started off pretty strong by showing off all their top hits from the past years. Can you believe it? They have 166 Oscar nominations, the studio. So this studio has a tendency to actually go out and actually pick up films from different film festivals and release them under their name. So this year they kind of announced some of the films that they picked up from Sundance, such as Bedford Park, The Only Living Pickpocket in New York, Hot Chance Shake Your Booty, and Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass, which is a really weird movie about a girl who learns from a psychic that she needs to sleep with John Hamm. That's the description of the whole movie. That's crazy. They did show some other trailers for the upcoming movies this year. We have Bitter Christmas from Pedro Almodovar. And then final but not least, they did talk a little bit about another movie that they're coming out called Loose Earth. And this is based off the same book of the same name. It takes place in the 1980s and it's about the climate changes and what they're trying to do. It stars an amazing cast of Paul Rudd, Paul Giamatti, Evan Peters, Tatiana Maslany, Amy Ryan, John Turturro, Jason Clarke. man, this is a stacked cast, so I am kind of curious of what this movie is going to be about, and I can't wait to see some footage of this. So, guys, that was the very first panel from CinemaCon, and that was Angel Studios, Sony Pictures Classics, and StudioCanal Pictures. So, what did you guys think? Did you guys like any of these? Are you looking forward to seeing any of these films that I talked about? What are your thoughts? And stay tuned because as I get these out, we're gonna be doing. We have a pretty big lineup for CinemaCon. We got the Sony panel up next. We got some other stuff for Godzilla Minus Zero. We got Warner Brothers, Universal Studios, Paramount, Disney. So stay tuned to the channel. And until next time, guys, remember to hit the like, the subscribe, the notification bell. That way you're notified every time one of these videos is posted. And remember, this is JD with the Figgy Pop Culture Channel.